What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. I've been saying for a little bit now that Eternity Code feels too good to be true when opening versus the estimated value pulled of all of these cards. I opened the box with two of the worst secret rares in terms of values, but decent ultra rares, and it ended up being like $82 versus a $60 box. And we now have a date, I believe it's June 5th, for this coming to the USA, and these prices just feel hecka overinflated versus what we're seeing develop in the European market. Now, the euro is actually very, very close to the US dollar right now. It is only $1.08. So when we're seeing this price, this is like 48 some odd US dollars over here on Card Market for the very lowest listing. We see coming in at number 4, and an adorned Archosaur. He's the dinosaur you're looking for. Well, I told you he felt very overinflated, and he's towards 27. So this would be towards like $40 US on access code falling back down over here. That's because they have their actual quantities in hands. The market is settling itself, and I think our market is definitely going to come along and have similar effects. You're going to have people taking anybody who defaults on Eternity Code and getting their hands on it because they're going to want to bust it at these current prices. So they're going to take pre-order that's been defaulted on and either keep this to sell sealed because it's going to be very open for its first edition run, or they're going to just try to bust it for the singles while they're still making pre-sales and going insane here. I told you just a couple of weeks ago also that I think only a couple of cards are going to be going up from here, even at these prices, while everything does seem to be, versus the European prices, headed towards a crash. I do think some of the card prices will head up from here over time, but you have to pick and choose your calls, and it's going to be very, very few things versus this onset. Indeed, every single secret rare is a good pull, similar to Dark Neostorm, and even though there's less of them per case in some senses, like you're only going to have 2.4 average of each of the secret rares per case because there's now 10 of them, so there's more that people are chasing after, you still have estimated value pulled per case, and I think a lot of these prices are going to be coming down just like the European market. But let me know what you think. Some of these seem actually just ludicrously low for what they are on the European market even right now, and I do understand that some of the lockdown procedures over there may be more intense versus over here, so people feel even more so like, I don't want cardboard right now, I need to survive, I need food, that kind of stuff. But a lot of e-commerce and commerce in general is trying to get back on track, and then that will include with people trying to get out and do things in real life. We don't know where the world is headed right now. I know you can run a million different ways with that conversation. My point being, EU prices are absurdly lower than US prices. The international market will take effect if it continues to be higher in the US, and you will see some kind of price coolant one way or another, be it versus a bunch of this getting opened or just things falling out. Like this is like, I think a $6 card for them. Yeah, it's just a ridiculous difference because of the product splits and delays. But again, let me know what you think of Eternity Code. Do you think it's all stonks, it's all up? This is such an absurd set that over time it will age, and it has a long time before we do see megatons for it, so a lot of these can be calls for long term, but I think you will have a cheaper opportunity to get a lot of these cards, if not all, besides the Starlight rares, especially thanks to people trying to chase after these, opening so many sets of this. And just a little birdie told me, a little thing that I've heard from, I guess, multiple birdies, a lot of my vendor friends that say they have gone in on this, on the EU ratios, are pulling less of Effect Veiler than any other Starlight, and they have pulled more of the trap tricks consistently of any Starlight. I don't think that's necessarily on purpose. It could be the cutting sheets. These are, you know, very, very different kinds of inputs into sets, but every single one I've talked to, if that's just RNG that all of them happen to be pulling less Veilers, I think there's a good reason why less of them are in market and less people are even stepping forward with them in general. Now, another thing that's settling down in price a little bit, we saw this 115 not too long ago, then dripping towards 109, now 105. Every single day right now, Secret Slayers is getting a little cheaper, and Researcher, which was at 699, is towards 63. So everything seems to be dipping from the set right now and cooling off in price. That's a little bit of good news for the market. These are still very highly priced. I would think that the set would actually even out to where this would be a little more expensive, but people argue on the ratio and if you play X amount or Y amount. I personally love this in my Magibullet version because if you play it behind anything but a Starfire, that's pretty big stonks whenever you're doing so. So I personally like this card as a turn 1 play when I'm, going first with that deck, but that's a very niche interaction. A lot of people are playing it Invoked or Synchro versions, and different people want to play different ratios on this, and understandably so, even shorted, still towards $8. Now, something going up, it wouldn't be a market watch without some buyouts, right? Necros of Brionac towards $8 and headed towards 10 quickly. There is this thing called the Dragma in the OCG, so future buyouts are definitely happening right now, like as always happens with the market, and a lot of people think that this will be what you play with the Dragma to give them a crutch and help them burst into the metagame, and they do get a lot of extra deck help as well, and, sending Heralds, Urtons, whatever you want, it is pretty good, I would think, but I haven't personally tested it to tell you how I feel about it, but that's the hype behind it. Let me know how you feel about Dragma Necros. A ton of people proclaiming that's the next Overlord deck that's gonna have to be beat in the metagame. I don't know. I like how Dragma turned out. I like it in card design, but I have yet to see how dominant it can be. Dragoonities have a new structure deck announced in the OCG, and with that, every single bit of high rarity Dragoonity, hey, Bark is kind of actually still chill here, is going out. So if you are shopping for extra pieces left behind, of course use my TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra and supporting the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. Now, I was the first person to tell Phoenix Flare X this was happening. He's the Dragoonity guy here on YouTube, and he said they would have to make the deck pretty much rely on Ducks or just overhaul card design on it. So I think DT Ducks might be a good way to go here. And also Romulus not moving. I could see this common in the structure deck. I actually don't think I would want to touch a common of this card though, having actually had the Ultra. So for just $3, you can avoid that situation. And I'm not common shaming here. If you like those kinds of things, yes, this is my favorite shade of green in the background here, and it goes from light to dark. I just love how this looks as a holographic, actually. And maybe, just maybe, it could even get a holo upgrade in the Megatons, so it could actually be bad EV to be going in on this now, since you could see a prismatic secret rare in the Megatons. And now I want to take you guys on a journey. Sometimes when I'm loading tabs for Market Watch, I'm like, yeah, this happened, that happened. I want to show you my live experience today of how I loaded tabs and why I don't jump at, oh boy, ultimate buyout of this, retro pack of this, DR4 of that. This is my day today. Let's just go ahead and open up every single Astral pack and see what happened to all of the freaking ultimate rares for the most part. Market Watch 101, we're opening tabs, we're doing our research. Trishula's up in price. Oh, there's an MST buyout. Fiendish Chain, I guess people really are considering Dino Rabbit. I said this kind of as a lower ultimate rare that you may want to consider for the future. Okay, there goes those three. Oh, Castell, past formats, I guess, too. 35, he used to be 60 at one point. Guy of the Thunder, oh, wait, it's just every single ultimate rare on market. This is actually coming down in price, but still a recent buyout. Big Eye is towards 45 for the lowest. Trap Tricks, I get it. The Trap Tricks buyouts have been coming. Again, not a Market Watch without a Trap Tricks or a Mermel card. Pot of Duality, up in price for the ulties. Gaga Cowboy coming back down from a recent buyout, but still higher than market price. Yamato, up in market price. Okay, I'm sensing a trend here. Max C, always targeted, ridiculous. Oh, wait, there we go. Max C's even at their ridiculous price. Hopefully you use that TCG player link. Necro Valley's back up double in price. Good for it. Dandelion's Bandit had a recent buyout. And Marvelous. Okay, Dragoonities actually play this with Instant Fusion when Winged Beast. Makes a little bit of sense. It's not just like because it's an Astral Pack thing. Oh, wait, yeah, it is locked behind an Astral Pack with no reprints. Tenki, Ultimate Rare, towards 70. This is kind of standard for him. Actually, Marksman towards 42, 43 isn't the most that it's been up. And then, the most budget of Ultimate Rares, May Stroke. Maystroke. Dragoon's up in price overall. Remember, it did have a recent rewave in its packs being out in the world due to the charity event that happened, so good for Konami and good for people getting this, you know, not for 200 in this scenario. And Spellbook of Power, chill. An actual chill ulti alongside the one that people consider a little useless. And then up in market price, way up in market price, up in market price. That's like 5 ultimate rares out of every ultimate rare that was not up in market price or bought out. This is why I'm just not like, oh, look, over here, over there. It's everything with the collector's market right now. The collector's market is getting torn a new one. It is just getting burned to the ground, and who knows what's going to come from the ashes in terms of actual sales rates and people looking for it and vendor hot potato. My guess is as good as yours that, yes, there will be some fallout from this, and then there will be multiple waves of buyouts on certain ones. Others will not last. But during this time, people are just looking for places to put their money into cardboard, it feels like, because all of it is going up, and there's going to be a point where it doesn't. There's going to be a point where there's not sales rates, and it is bubbling viciously and ridiculously right now. But that's why I don't jump at the, oh, there's this one ulti, there's that one ulti. It's all of them. It's freaking all of them. Anyways, thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. And let me know what you think of the market as a whole. I'm more interested in talking about Eternity Code today than Ultimate Rares, even though it took a good chunk of the last part. I just wanted, you know, maybe you to walk in my shoes for a day whenever, you know, there's those suggestions. I'm like, yeah, I know. And then it doesn't show up on Market Watch. Well, this would be partly why that happens sometimes. But I do appreciate people who bring me cards, whether it's something they think that I may have missed. Whenever you bring me cards, I do appreciate you trying to bring me content and tell me what's going on. I truly do appreciate when that happens, but it's not always going to make it to Market Watch because of stuff like this. Just a heads up.